The soul is thirsty and the heart is empty. Break free, dear one. Break free. Wake up to this love. Open your heart and trust the process. Now is the time. Go! Hello, everybody. I am Naz, the proud co author of My Simple Being. And we are here to start our series um, about learning this chapter and making it easy for you. Beginning with our first chapter, which is Leap into Love. And so happy that this is our intention. And we're really looking forward to creating an amazing learning experience for you.
So, some questions we all have, right? Sometimes. Is it time? Should I just get up and quit this job? This toxic relationship has nothing left in it. I'm living it day in and day out. Should I just end it? Questions, voices deep within that struggle to come to the lips sometimes. Afraid to speak out loud. अगर जोर से बोल दे तो क्या हो जाएगा? Comfort zone से निकलना पड़ेगा. We have to shift. But in the meantime, your health, your smile, the state of your mind, everything is fading. And you know there is a misalignment to truth that is happening within you. Um, as it did with our main character of the very first chapter, which has a companion story along with the lesson. Our main character, T, started to feel this bubbling up and this question. And that's how we start. This is Paro, co author of My Simple Being. And here, as Nas said, we're going to talk about our first chapter. We're going to discuss some of its main content. So you can almost use these video lessons as something that helps you as you're reading these chapters. So, Naz, I think you wanted to emphasize something important about the book and the fact that should be almost used as a text. Do you want to elaborate a little on that?
Yeah, I think, like I said in the preface too, that the stories are very beautiful and people love stories. But the reason why we wrote this book is really about emphasizing the lessons and the essence of the teachings. And I want to use these series as, you know, a launch pad or, where we can really explain what is the message. This book must be really used as a textbook, and for everybody who is wanting to find answers and are really serious about their spiritual journey. I guess this has everything, not just because we have written it, but I feel it's something that carries so much of wisdom, and in such simplicity, this has been explained. So that really is the intention I'm holding very close to my heart. And with that, I want to talk about our first chapter.
You know, we literally launch this with a very powerful first chapter, which is actually a wake up call. Like a lot of courageous stories that start with this wake up call. Um, this is where T was unable, she fought hard. She wanted to silence that inner voice. She was like rationalizing and struggling, but the truth started to emerge. She could not fight her own self. She was on the brink of something that was breaking out from within her. And that was the wake up call. And I know that what one of the things you wanted to emphasize is that this is the opportunity. So you want to go deeper, take a deeper dive into this wake up call.
Sure. Like you very beautifully wrote in the book, um, T was surrendering to slumber. And isn't that the story of every person? I guess all of us just settle for less, um, rather settle for the ordinary because we are
Yeah.
so afraid of the unknown. We are so uncertain. We are so deep
Mhm.
rooted in our consciousness of lack and scarcity and insecurity that we choose to deny and sometimes even decline what our inner guidance is really pointing towards.
So true.
And This wake up call comes in everybody's life where you feel it's enough. I can't go on this way. It's like, you're stretching the rubber band beyond its elasticity. And I think um, the process that we have mentioned here in a very beautiful way, which I hope our readers will, resonate with, to listen to that wake up call, because it is not just any call, it's a wake up call to wake up from out of your sufferings.
Out of that slumber.
True, true.
Very, very, very accurate. And that's why we wanted the very first chapter to be like, boom, this is not the time to sit in contemplation.
True. And Paro, whenever we are in that state of confusion, what we actually do is we go up to people and ask for advice. Because there too we are seeking approval. We're not so sure about what we are feeling, although the heart is
Yeah.
your guide.
Uh-huh.
But do these people really know what they have to do with their lives? And nothing to demean anybody, but we are all lost souls, right? And I think the answer is really when you start looking within and stop seeking it from the outside.
Correct. And that noise, I think you have a very powerful statement here that all the time when we are doing so-called contemplation, it's just noise.
Yes, and I think we need to learn to discern between the inner noise and the inner voice, because
Wow.
that inner voice is your guiding light. It's your truth resonating within, which is telling you, this way. You got to go this way. Come on, how much of it? And that's the reason why in our stories, um, T was constantly questioning, to a point where she felt, where her inner voice told her, "Why can't you sing then?" At that
Exactly.
point, something happens. When you're able to discern between the two, there is a sense of clarity that comes in. And along with that clarity, there is an insight: no, I can't do this anymore.
Yes.
And when that insight comes in, Paro, that's when everything just becomes luminous. I guess the divine is just waiting for you to come to that stage, and all the divine help that you've been looking for, you've been praying for, because you've opened your heart, it just flows into your consciousness. And you so beautifully demonstrated that in the book. It was so pictorial that the room got luminous and there was a glow, and it felt like the support was there.
That's
That
what it
was
was meant
what
to
she's
depict.
looking for. Yeah.
Yes. And that's came, I mean, it's an experiential thing. There is light. I mean, there is that sense of lightness. Once that decision, and you know it in your heart, it's undeniable. Once that decision, and it is, in our story, she's on the window ledge, and that's metaphorical also. To
Yes.
one side is the old self, and the other side is this opportunity where you leap. And people often say, love is blind, faith is blind, but only the eyes closed is the blindness part. Your heart is open and you're sensing with your heart, and the heart is seeing the reality. So, whenever we talk about leaping, we leap with love and we leap into love.
Into love. And I think the one thing that stops us from doing that is because we're not trusting ourselves. I
Right.
guess with this book and with this series, our intention is for people to recognize who they are. They
Yeah.
are made in the image
Yeah.
and likeness of the divine. You are source energy. How can you not trust yourself? You will know what you have to do when you have to do what you have to do. The divine
Yeah.
is constantly there with you. You're not alone. And this
Yes.
fight, between the mind and freedom, between conditioning and freedom from conditioning, I mean, you have to walk that path. It is you who has to take that step. It is you who has to take that leap. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Hence, you need to listen to the inner guidance, and trust me, you have it in you. Okay, don't underestimate yourself. Don't feel so powerless, because we love to go back to our stories of being a victim. And I think the wake up call is really about that as well. When am I going to drop that story and really muster the courage to leap into love?
Yes. To leap into love. And as you rightly said, there is guidance. There is immense guidance to be received. And this is a great hook for us to get into the conclusion and into the introduction of the next chapter, where the Grand Master, our second central character, M comes into play, and how the interplay now between T and M kicks off from the next chapter. So, in closing, my dear sweet readers, I hope you are enjoying. If you've already picked up the book, if not, the link is in the description. So, please, whether it's a Kindle version, whether it's a hard copy, enjoy having this with you. Enjoy listening to this. Send us your comments. Tell us what your experiences are around the wake up call. I'm
Yes.
very sure you all have a T and an M story hidden there, and we're dying to hear from you. So enjoy yourselves. Any other last words, Naz?
I think it really is about trusting the heart and trusting the process, believing in yourself and having faith in the divine. That's the whole journey. That's it.
Leap into love.
Leap into love. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.